Like there's a shed in the back, and like, dude, there's like $8,000 or $10,000 worth of stuff in the shed that would have been my grandfather's. That like would have been there for at the time like 30 years because he passed away in 1971, and this was probably in like 1997. So like 25 plus years, it had just been sitting in the shed. I was like, Dad, why didn't you ever go? He's like, it wasn't mine. I'm like, it was your dad's. Like, what the fuck is grandma gonna do with these fucking tools? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't even make sense.
Well, shit, boys. I hope you guys are ready to be judges of character because I got a fun one in mind for us today. So let's dive into a Shed Time podcast and get into some weird shit. You guys ready?
Yeah. I'm gonna get high too.
Yes. Let's get this going in 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to Shedtime. What is Shedtime, you ask? Well, it's code for the consumption of cannabis, but it's much more than that. Shedtime's a state of mind. It's art, it's music, it's cryptocurrency, technology, it's food, it's vaping. It can be whatever you want it to be, as long as you're not letting the bastards get you down, not being a dick, and making it fun. When you're in the shed, it's whatever your mind allows you to create. So now let's get to the Shedtime podcast.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another fantastic voyage of the Shedtime podcast. And I'm feeling good. Got some sativa gummies in me earlier today because I swung by and saw the homies up at the dispensary, and it happened to be Kana Day, which is half price gummy day up in that joint. So I was like, for the terpenes alone, yeah, let's grab one of these, little mood booster. I like it. So yeah, I'm feeling extra good. Got this new strain. I don't even know what the heck it is. It's called RS11. You guys ever heard of this strain?
Can't say that I have.
No, never.
Yeah,
RS11, definitely not.
it's apparently Rainbow Sherbet number 11. So, all right, that's dope because it's fire. I'm digging it. It's got me hella lifted. Nice little 70% sativa. But today, my weird plan. You guys familiar with Reddit's Am I the Asshole?
I
No,
don't
I'm not
do
really that
anything on
familiar with
Reddit.
Yeah,
So you don't have to be on Reddit to be familiar with this because there's a lot of
I'm
like,
familiar with like what you. If you can, I just like give what I think that means.
well, yeah, go ahead.
It's like you give me a situation. Like I'm in the line at the grocery store, and some old lady's like holding a bunch of food, and I make her wait behind me, and then whatever, and then you ask the question. It's like, am I really the asshole right here? And like that's the vibe.
Yeah, I mean, these stories tend to be a lot crazier, but
Yeah,
absolutely.
no, I was okay, Sean. I just hit my first like hit of the day, and come on, like give me a little bit, a little leeway. That's it. But anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
But yeah, man, I love reading some of these because some of the shit that these people go through and then ask questions in here, some of this stuff is crazy. Like this one, which immediately caught my eye when I first quickly looked at it today. Am I the asshole for making my brother move out after he told me he uses the sink to pee? I don't even think I need to read the story.
I think
I'm
your
gonna
brother's
say-
the asshole.
I think that like you are both assholes. That's what I think. Like I think that you're both assholes. Like this is my thought, right? I honestly don't think I've ever peed in the sink even drunk. Maybe I did it at like a bar. Maybe I don't know. But like I've never peed in someone's sink, my own sink. I think it's weird. Like I don't think that that's like proper conduct as a normal human being or a good person necessarily.
Definitely
But,
not kosher.
like I think I'd be like, bro, like what are you doing?
All right. Well, let's get the full context.
I need to hear I need to hear it all.
Because I'm not sure, but let's see. So She says, my brother, 27 male, recently broke up with his boyfriend that he lived with for a while and asked if he could stay with me, 24-year-old female, while he's looking for a new apartment. I agreed, and he's been staying for around a month until this happened. I don't have a huge place for myself, so he's been staying in my living room where I have a sofa bed. One thing I noticed is that he doesn't really keep it tidy, and often when I come back from work, I see a mess, which really bothers me because I'd like to come home to a clean place, which I do when I live on my own. The bathroom had also gotten a bit messy, and he actually doesn't offer to clean it, even though it's mostly a mess he's made. I started noticing piss around the toilet, and know for sure it's not me. I mentioned that to him, and he apologized and said he'll be more careful and clean it up. But he also added he saw I had thrown out pads, implying it was gross. One day we were hanging out in the living room and he laughed at a TikTok and showed it to me. It was something along the lines of men peeing in sinks or whatever. So I asked him if he does that or if he had done it here, to which he laughed and said yes. I told him that it's disgusting considering it's not his bathroom he's doing it in and that I have probably touched the sink after he had done that. I kind of kept going and told him to stop doing that or start packing his bags. He said I was overreacting and called me selfish and that he's not dirty and that it's not a big deal. He even told our parents that I'm kicking him out because he's messy, but he never said he peed in the sink. I'm aware that a lot of men
Of
might be
course he
doing
did.
this, but I'm not going to let it happen in my own bathroom that I clean myself. My parents say I'm being mean and didn't believe me when I said he pees in the sink. So am I the asshole? Edit, just to clarify that he didn't pee in the sink because of an emergency, but did it while he was in the bathroom with a working toilet next to him. Didn't pee in the kitchen sink as far as I know. I do have things on my sink, toothbrush, soap, etc., that I've already replaced. He also didn't exclusively pee in the sink, just when he was in a hurry or it's more quote unquote convenient. I also didn't kick him out straight away after I found out he does it, obviously. I also don't care whether people piss in their own sinks or not. I just don't want it in my own house.
Yeah. Dude's the asshole, bro. 1000%. She invited you to stay at her house, opened her doors, gave you a roof to sleep under, and you're gonna disrespect her by peeing in her sink. Not only once, but continuing to do it after she asked you not to. You know what I mean? That's a dick move, bro. You're an asshole. It's not your space. It's not your place. You know what I mean? Fuck you. That's how I feel. That's how I feel about it, bro.
I agree with you. I mean, dude, you're a guest in your sister's home, and
And
you're being
that's
that
another thing too.
disrespectful to it.
It's not like it's like the bros hanging out, you know, frat house style sort of situation. No, like this is a totally different situation, different vibe. There's different rules when it comes to that. You know what I mean? That's just not fucking cool, bro.
So now that you've heard the whole context, how do you feel, Uncle Chris?
Well, hopefully the dog doesn't bark. Okay, so I feel for like the sister in that scenario for sure. And I think that he is definitely an asshole. I don't even know if I'd call her an asshole. I'd be like, that's unfortunate that like you couldn't just, hope for the best after like you reading them the riot act. And then yeah, I don't know. I really wish that the dude didn't piss in the sink. I think that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah,
So,
dude. So at the end of the day,
like, I don't
fault's on
feel
him.
that bad for him only because he was pissing in the sink like that.
Yeah,
to me
and
is-
I really don't feel bad for him with the way that he like reacted when she confronted him. You know what I
Like,
mean? Like he was not sorry in any way, saying no, you're overreacting. Yada
it's
yada.
not even weird that I'm peeing in the
Yeah.
sink.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like that's what makes him the asshole. It would have been different. He'd be like, oh, you know what? I see what you're saying. My bad. I won't do it again. Sort of thing. But no, like he's like gaslighting her, like, bitch, you're crazy. Da 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 da. You know what I mean?
I mean, I know this. I'm a dude, but I'm a married
I've
dude.
never
so,
pissed in the sink.
but
I
that's the
don't think.
thing. Like, I've never in my life pissed in a sink. I just kind of know that's not cool. Like
Dude.
Uncle Chris said, I don't even think drunk have I ever pissed in the sink.
No,
Yeah, I
I've
don't think
pissed
so.
outside way more than I would
Yeah.
ever. But dude, I would do that before I would piss in anybody's sink. 1000%.
And again, like she
Dude,
said,
there's the toilet's right there. Like
Right,
that
And
works.
that's the thing. Like,
Like
if
why?
the toilet's
I
there and
just-
it works, what are you doing, bro?
it's not like the toilet was broken. Exactly. Like
It's like, come on, man.
that shit's out of line.
Get with it.
That shit is crazy.
Okay, what's the next one?
All
Give me
right.
another one.
Am I the asshole for attending my dead fiance's sister's wedding, knowing that her parents don't want me there? So, our context story. John, my fiance, very unexpectedly died in May of 2021 after being sick since 2018 with depression, anxiety, and neuropathy. He was a heavy drinker, and that didn't help. I was his sole caretaker in every way until the end. I was extremely close with the family, especially his sister, Jane, who is now engaged to be married. In October of that year, I met someone and slowly started with lunch, and I fell for him. John's mother called me a traitor for moving on too soon. Jane supports me and even invited my boyfriend to the wedding by name, not as a plus one. The parents haven't spoken to me since October 21st. When the parents saw my name on the guest list, it started a huge argument with Jane as they didn't want me to be invited, stating that they believe I knew John was going to die and that I didn't tell them and they could have saved him. Jane has fought tooth and nail standing up for me and made sure I'm able to be at the wedding. It's getting close to the wedding and my anxiety is off the charts so bad I considered not attending. Jane fought so hard for me that I feel disrespectful for letting my anxiety get the better of me. I'm aware how much the parents don't want me to be there, and while I don't want to miss this very important day, I'm anxious about how her parents are going to act, and I want that day to be the best ever for Jane. Am I the asshole here? This one, that was a lot more complex than I thought it was going to be. Cool.
At the end of the day, whose wedding is it? You know what I mean? It's not her parents' wedding. It's her wedding. You know what I mean? She wants you to be there and she invited you, then fucking go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you'd have to like hope that
And just hope that her
their
parents,
parents aren't
yeah,
just like that off the
and
wall,
hope
that they
exactly,
legit make a reaction.
and just hope her parents realize that it is her day and let her have her day. You know what I mean?
Well, and I guess at that point, you know,
The best case scenario is just make sure you do whatever you can to avoid the parents so there is no issue being caused. You know what I mean? As long as you do that and you don't like go in trying to make it a fucking point to like cause a scene, then you know you're doing no harm. You're just attending the wedding as she asked, and that's that.
And then 3 weeks later, we'll see your friend drop an "Am I the asshole?" about "Am I the asshole for inviting my
Yeah.
brother's late fiance and my parents hating her?" Like, but no, I mean, at the end of the day, like, I think I agree there too. The way the parents feel is their problem.
Yeah, that's on them, not on her and your guys' relationship, you know?
I know you can't change people when their minds are made up, especially when they're that age and they're just set in their ways. And yeah, I mean, I'm sorry they feel that way about the whole situation, but yeah, go support your friend, and hopefully bygones can be bygones.
Yeah, I think that I'd do that if I talked to my friend and they're like, yeah, like, I really want you to be there, but your parents hate me. No, I really want you to be there. I think I would go. You know what I mean? You can't
Yeah.
hate nice. Like I'm always nice, so I
True
think that for
that.
me it's a bit harder to like believe that that would be the case, but at the same time, killing people with kindness has always worked for me. Being pleasant, it's never fucking turned me to like the wrong path, you know?
Yeah.
All right. So here's a good one. I feel like we're very qualified to hear this story and give some feedback. Am I the asshole for purposely excluding my friend from plans to go to a music festival because I know she would hate it? So, am I the asshole I, 23 female, made plans to go to a music festival with a group of friends and left my 27-year-old female friend out after consideration. Over the weekend, me and some of my friends booked tickets to go to a 3-day music festival coming up later this year. I was so excited I was telling my friend, let's call her Jess, about these plans. Jess was intrigued and asked if she could come. She's never been to a music festival before. I tried telling her that this event in particular really isn't her scene and that she wouldn't enjoy it. She insisted she wants to give it a go and come along with myself and some mutual friends I'm already going with. I really don't want Jess to come. I love her, and we've been friends for 7 years now, so I know her well enough to know that she would hate this festival. To start, she isn't the biggest fan of crowds and doesn't drink alcohol. There will be a lot of alcohol at this event, amongst other things, if you know what I mean. I just know she would have an awful time, and she's had a bad tendency to bring everyone else's moods down when she does. We would be camping together at this festival as well, so this isn't really anywhere to go to give each other space if she's in a bad mood. Also, this festival's in the middle of nowhere, and she wouldn't be able to leave the festival early before the 3 days. Me and our mutual friends would have to go with her. I told you she's best sitting this event out. Am I the asshole?
Here's the thing. I don't. This one's a weird one, bro, because like you feel like the asshole doing this, but sometimes it's also the right thing to do, depending on the situation. You know what I mean? Like, especially if you've had experiences where you've taken this person somewhere to like similar or have been out for, like a multiple day situation where like you're literally stuck together. And if they do bring the whole group down, that can really be a fucking bummer,
Oh, dude, that can be a friendship ender.
Yeah,
Honestly.
exactly.
I've seen people like, leave circles of friends for less than that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, it's like, obviously you enjoy your time that you spend with her doing other things and you enjoy her company and that sort of thing. And you don't want like this to be like one of those moments and you want to be able to enjoy the event. I also say, like, if it's someone who doesn't drink and doesn't enjoy being around people that are drunk or around people that are enjoying alcohol, I would always be like, yeah, you're not going to want to go because festivals, bro, people are wild, people are crazy, random people are going to come up to you, that you're going to get bumped into, there's going to be a lot of loud shit going on, and then you're camping. So people are going to be up all, it's going to be a fucking whole thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
well, that's the thing, right? Is like,
it's
I don't
not
think
like
this
just
person
going out.
understands.
It's not like going to like a concert for the night. I'd be like, hey, you know what? If instead of going to this, how about we find like a show or we can go see a show one night and do that? Because like this is going to be a whole 3-day thing. And like once you go, you're there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, unfortunately, you're going to have to stick it out because we're not leaving and we're not going to take your shitty out unless you want to be upfront with her about it and be like, hey, if you're going to come and you're not enjoying it, like you can't be your usual pissy self. You know what I mean? If you've known each other that long and you have that back and forth and that much of a rapport where you can be real, but to like be respectful when you do it. Of course, don't be an asshole and be like, yo, you're going to fuck this shit up. Don't come. But just break it down. Be like, hey, I love you. I would like you to go, but I just don't like you said, I feel like you did the right thing, and in that situation, but like, telling them, this isn't going to be your vibe. You know what I mean? I feel like that's the right way to go about it. I don't necessarily think she's an asshole. It kind of makes you feel like one because you're excluding a friend, but at the end of the day, you could be saving the event for the rest of the people at the same time. Because I've been there.
I wish I had a couple of specific details though, because like,
yeah,
I'd love to know like specifically what style of music, like what style of festival this is, and like what the standard taste of their friend is. Because like I like a little bit of EDM, but like I wouldn't want to go to an EDM festival and be like 3 days of nonstop EDM.
I'll go for a night.
Right. If one little rave, maybe, but
Dude, I've done it a couple of times with my brother and sister, and like it's fun for a night, but like I wouldn't be able to do that all weekend, dude.
does this friend think of a festival and think of something like Ozfest, where it's like, yeah, it might be a few days in a row, but it's like it's between these times that everything happens? Because it definitely sounds like this is like a Burning Man kind of a
Yeah,
situation
because
where
it's
like
in. She
it's
said it's in the middle of
nonstop.
the. Yeah, it's like in the middle of the nowhere. They're camping, so it's gonna be rough. You know what I
So
mean?
yeah, like
You're not gonna be
I
charging phones and fucking that sort of thing. It sounds like unless you
I
got fucking portable chargers and that sort of thing. Using probably porta potties. So if you're not into that sort of situation, I wouldn't recommend going.
it's one of those. I don't think she's the asshole, but I also think that the other compromise here is I'll tell you what, you need to bring your own vehicle.
Yeah, bring your
So if
own
you're
ride.
not feeling it, you can leave and we can stay.
Yeah, like that's I think the
The
person could be
compromise.
the
Yeah.
asshole depending on the delivery of that information.
Yeah.
Like, do I think that I could deliver that information and like basically tell somebody that they can't come with me, but do it as nicely as possible? I think that I can get away with that. Like, I might like hurt someone's feelings, but like it comes from like the best place,
Yeah.
you know? And so like I can get that across. So if you but I know that I've seen people just like tell people like what's what, and like that doesn't feel good when you see people get told what's
Yeah,
what.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to be like a dick about it. Just be like, hey, this is the vibe it's gonna be. I know this isn't really your sort of thing. You know what I mean? So like I was saying earlier, why not sit this one out? Maybe we could find a show local. Go check that out next time, and you could definitely come to that. But for this one,
You know what? I really hope that this festival that they're going to is the gathering of the Juggalos.
oh, dude, that would be
Dude, that would
hilarious.
be amazing.
That's definitely not someone's cup
They're
of
just
tea.
giving
Doesn't
this like casual explanation of the gathering, and you're like, "Oh, I'd
yeah.
love to go." You're like, "No,
No, no,
listen,
no. Trust me.
this is not your scene."
Yeah, same for you.
Oh my god, I've seen that conversation.
That's a tough one though, dude. For real. That one's probably the toughest out of the three so far.
Yeah, dude. It's just the delivery of that news. Like, cause I've been there when like people have been like discouraged. Like I've discouraged people to do things to be honest with you. But like it's just for like the future vibe, you know? It's like the present vibe is like definitely not as good. It's not as chill. But the future vibe when I'm actually enjoying what I want to go do, it's gonna be worth it. I'll be like, I feel a little bit guilty now that like this Venice came, but I know that I can have a better time. It's like friend X is not coming. Dude, even been to fucking like just like festival days, like where you go at like 10:30 in the morning and like the headliners go on at like 11.
Mhm.
And dude, I've had friends that have like not even been able to make it to the fucking headliners. Plenty of times.
Oh, they just get too fucked before, and then
They
they
just
just
get
have
like
to
too
party.
fucked up and then like
And that's the thing, man. You got to pace yourself. Wait till the end to party hardy. You know what I mean?
dude, especially it'd be like 90-degree days, like because I'm trying to do the quick math from
Yeah.
Celsius. Um,
Rough.
and you just be out in the sun all day. They do like if you went to like Warp Tour or like Edge Fest or some of these like bigger festival shows that would be at like a certain venue. Dude, it's fucking crazy. But still, I could always make it to the end. Like I would be fucked up, but I'd make it to the end. I'd do my best to pace it. It's like you said.
I haven't been to many festivals or shows or anything like that, but
I don't know if
yeah.
I could do the like long style, like the 24 hours of nonstop festival action for 3 days. Like, I
No, dude,
think
there's
I
like
would
ones
burn
you can
out.
go to where you can take like a trailer or like a motorhome and you have like your own camp spot
Yeah.
and like you can like walk from your camp spot to the spot. So like you still have like your own personal space. And if you want, you can go out and like be drinking outside and just be like, yeah, what's good? And then people just keep on walking by because they're probably busy as hell.
It's the thing, though. I'm not sure if that'd be my speed.
Dude, okay, Sean, you ever been to Darien Lake before?
No, I can't say that I have.
Okay, it's pretty far from you, I'm pretty sure, because it's like in upstate New York.
I
But
knew a chick named Darian once, but
well,
that's
this
about
was
it.
definitely not her. But no, it's like an amusement park. I think that it's the Six Flags Darien Lake, and oh, I fucking lost it.
Damn, dude.
Damn.
That was a build up.
Bro, I was so invested right
Me
now.
too.
Dude.
Yeah,
was
I
like-
was too, and honestly, I can't even remember. Fuck.
I'll tell you what, dude, that happened to me like 3 or 4 times the other day, and it was killing me. I was just like, God damn it, dude.
No,
And
man,
that-
honestly, I forgot everything I was talking about.
And
Darien
that's
Lake.
the way the stoner
Upstate New York.
crumbles.
Okay, Darien Lake. What else was there? Like, what was?
What
it
were we
related
talking
to?
about before you was talking
Festivals,
about
man.
festivals? Yeah,
Festivals.
Oh yeah,
camping,
yeah.
that's it.
So Darien Lake, there you go, boom. Darien Lake is basically like this massive amusement park, Six Flags. Thank you, boys. See, that's why we're a fucking team right there. But yeah, so Darien Lake, it's like a big amusement park, like a Six Flags. It has like a water park. It has like all these roller coasters, all sorts of stuff, right? Full size amusement park. And then there's a campground. So you can basically like camp there, and it's like this like big section with like big trees, and it's like all your like camping spots. And then you just camp there, and you just basically go back to your like motorhome or your trailer, have lunch, then you go back to the fucking amusement park. That's like a 15-minute walk back to the amusement park, and then you're at the amusement park, and you can just go, and then you can go back, and you can have like fucking marshmallows on a fire, corn on the cob, shit like that.
See, the difference there, though,
It's
is that the
cool.
amusement park action stops at some point. The park closes. It's not like a 3-day festival where like it goes for 24 hours and there's just people whiling at 4 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not masses. There might be some people swallowing up for you. But
I
yeah,
mean, it
not
might
the
be
masses, not the
but yeah, that's the
masses.
thing. It's not going to
I
be
agree.
the majority of people whiling. So here we go. You ready for the next one?
Hit it.
Yeah, for
This
sure.
one, we got some parenting advice being asked for in this one.
Uh-oh, I don't know if
I
we're the
don't
best to
qualify.
ask. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't think I'm qualified either, but hey, it's okay. Am I the asshole
Theoretically, yeah.
for not disciplining my son who made a morbid joke? Writer says, Dear jury, yesterday I had my new girlfriend at my place for watching a movie with me and my 7-year-old boy. They've met 3 or 4 times now, and he's slowly warming up, also starting to make jokes and being silly around her, which is a good sign. He's on the spectrum, so a little bit weird for outsiders sometimes. During the movie, I got some sweets for him, and he was sharing with us. However, when it came to giving her some, he jokingly said, "No, she has to starve," and didn't give her anything at first. Later on, he gave her some though. He was in silly mood, and I'm sure he didn't mean it. Actually, I didn't even register it at the moment. The girlfriend left, and today I got a very long and upset text message from her that it's unacceptable that he says something like that, and that she expects me to discipline him when he says something like that. I think it's okay for her to tell me it hurts her, and I also told the kid that starving is nothing to joke about, but I'm also a bit shocked by her taking this so dead serious. I told her I'd talk to him about it, but she's still very upset. Am I the asshole here for not taking this serious enough?
No, you're fine, dude. Like, kids just say things, bro, without really taking the context, dude. He doesn't realize what he's saying. He's just joking, you know?
Bro,
what I mean?
yeah,
Like, he
we're talking
doesn't mean you have to
7-year-old.
fucking starve. She's just super sensitive and, doesn't realize that he's a child. Especially if you're saying he's also on the spectrum too, you know what I mean? Like, he probably is just awkward around people, you know what I mean? And doesn't necessarily know how to be social properly, you know what I mean? Like, she can't, and if she doesn't understand that, then that's fucking her problem, dude.
I mean, I tell you this much. If
And like you said, you did explain to him that, not saying to starve is, not something to joke about. So you let him know at the end of the day, you know what I mean? You don't have to fucking, like, what are you supposed to do? Spank him? No. That's dumb.
it's
Yeah, I feel like the way it was handled is really not like a bad.
And at the end of the day, you said he did ended up sharing with her, right?
Exactly.
So
I think
obviously
this
he was
girlfriend is
yeah,
not a good match for you and your son, because at the end of the day, when you're a parent, I mean, and you're dating someone, you're not just matching with you, you're also matching
matching
with
with
your
your
child.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
and if she can't
There's more
handle
involved.
who your kid is at this stage, she definitely can't handle you and your son 6 months from now, when the rose colored glasses are gone and everybody's acting themselves completely now
Yeah, the
because everyone's
dynamic
fully comfortable.
changes
Like, she can't handle it. Like, this kid did you a favor, he showed you the red flag.
for real. Shout out to the kid.
For real. Oh man.
Snuffing him out quick for you, bro. He knows what's up. See, that's what he knew what he was doing, bro. He knew what he was doing. He's like, I'm gonna test her right now. And he did, and she failed, bro. You know what I mean? He did you a favor.
Fact.
You know what I mean?
Fact.
He did that self-conscious, or yes, wait, no, is that the word?
Subconsciously.
So yeah, he did it without thinking about it, you know what I mean?
Yep. Yep. He just
He knew it
totally
was up.
exposed her.
He's like, she's weak. Let's see how weak she is.
Or he's 7 and he just didn't even think. He just said
or
it.
he's like, oh, exactly. Or he's 7 and he heard
Like,
somebody
bro,
say it one
I'm
time.
just gonna say
He's
this.
like,
I heard this on a
yeah,
show.
I heard
Yeah.
this one time.
I'm just being a goofball. So here we go. Am I the asshole for telling my sister that she needs to grow up and stop being a spoiled brat? I, a female 18-year-old, have been looking after my sister, female 16, since I was 17. She's always been very spoiled and always got whatever she asked for from her parents. When I turned 18, my boyfriend, who's a male of 19, asked me out. Of course, I said yes, and we started going out, and this caused me to stop looking after my sister as much. One time when I was going over to my boyfriend's house, my sister, we'll call her Caitlin, had to come with us because my parents were busy. She came with me to my boyfriend's house and sat down on the couch, making herself at home. I told her to be respectful, which she did not listen to whatsoever, and proceeded to watch the TV. My boyfriend and I went into his room to cuddle. After what felt like an hour, Caitlin barged into the room and said I needed to make her food. In response, I told her no and that I would make her food later. She proceeded to act like a toddler, start crying, hitting the wall, and kicking her feet. In my anger, I pulled her out of the room, leaving my boyfriend in his room. She stopped whining and pouting at me. I yelled at her to grow up and stop being a spoiled brat for once. She then grew a shocked expression before starting to cry and call her parents. Her parents picked her up and yelled at me for saying such a thing to my sister. My mother's side of the family thinks what I did was wrong, but a few family members on my father's side think I had every right to say what I did. So, am I the asshole for telling my sister to grow up and stop acting like a spoiled brat? Absolutely not.
No, dude.
She's
Dude, you know what? I
16
thought
years
there was gonna be
old.
like the craziest twist, like where it was like
Yeah,
she's
like
somewhere
no,
on the
she's
spectrum,
acting
and I'd be
like
like,
she's acting like the 7-year-old child. You know what I mean? Like she's
yeah, dude, that's crazy. She also said raising, and like she's 18, and so she's been raising her 16-year-old for 1 year. Is that like how that
no,
works?
like she's like she looks after like they would go everywhere together sort of thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like she'd have until she started dating, and then she started spending more time with their boyfriend, less time with her sister,
What
looking out for her, that sort of thing is what it seems like.
what I'm not understanding is that the kid is 16 fucking years old, and the parents can't just let their 16-year-old be at home. Why is the 18-year-old having to cart around her 16-year-old sibling, and her 16-year-old sibling is throwing fits like this?
Well, that's what I mean. Like that seems very not okay.
Like,
that seems like you need to really work on why that's going that way.
yeah, there's something wrong with the way your parents are raising
therapist.
Yeah,
children.
it's not. It shouldn't have to be her responsibility to take care of her sister the whole time. You know what I mean? Yeah, she should look out for her at the end of the day, but she doesn't need to.
Yeah, like
Especially if she's 18, she's older. She's going through different experiences. You know what I mean? Obviously, she's dating. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. Every house dynamic's different. I don't really understand that whole thing. Well, there was a point in time where my sister kind of, went everywhere with me, but that was when we were young kids.
right. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm thinking about this is like from my perspective, I'm thinking high school graduate and still a high school student, just 2 years behind them.
Yeah,
This
no, no,
kid-
no.
Like
No, Sean,
this kid's a
Wait.
sophomore in high school. They
I'm
don't
there
need a
with you.
No,
babysitter.
we're with
Yeah.
you, bro.
I'm
we're
so
there.
like I
But
can't
dude,
get
if
over
you're 16
that.
years old, I feel pretty confident that if you're a completely
Well,
capable human being of being able to do these like tasks and these like things, and
I-
you're 16 and you can't do that, like you're down bad.
Yeah.
You're
well,
down
dude, honestly,
bad.
I'm just gonna be a devil's advocate here for a second. This is not necessarily how I feel, but this is just maybe the other side of the fucking spectrum on this. Things are way different nowadays when it comes down to parenting. You know what I mean? We have a lot of these, sort of helicopter parent sort of things. And also most households nowadays, both parents are working. You know what I mean? So there may be points in time where there isn't a parent at the house. So there may need to be some sort of supervision by someone at the time. And maybe some people can't afford, a nanny or babysitter or whatever you want to call it, or they don't also maybe have someone as far as family to look after somebody. But at the end of the day, yeah, I don't know, dude. I still like
That's tough. Like it's
it's
not
still
really
tough, bro.
It's tough
But
that
like,
like your sister's like that.
yeah, like she
It's like,
shouldn't, like
whoa.
at the end of the day, she shouldn't act like that. At that age, she should be trying to become more independent. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
And no, dude, it's just in the fact that they're 2 years apart. They're sisters that are 2 years apart. Like, what's wrong with your sister? Also, like, you got to take a little bit of that on yourself as the person that's saying that and asking if they're the asshole. Because, like, if you're that close to your sister and she relies on you that heavy, like, you'd let that happen. Like, you're there.
Well,
If you were, it's like just the classic enabler.
there's this thing in here too, and like I want to go back and reread it real quick because like
Because you don't
My-
just get there. That's not
So-
the first time.
well, no, she's probably been like that the whole
the
time.
18-year-old's been looking after her sister since she was 17. So she's only been looking after the sister for a year.
Yeah.
And if the sister is 16 now, that means that she was 15 at the time. Obviously, 2-year difference. At the end of the day, what is up with your kid that like you don't trust them to be home alone for a few hours at the age of 15 or 16? Like maybe
She liked fires.
I'm gonna say maybe I'm too like stuck
It's
in the
like, oh,
fact of
fires,
how I
yeah.
was raised, but
I don't know.
like I was a latchkey kid in second grade. I let myself in. No one was home. I made a peanut butter sandwich. I did my homework. I played video games, and then my parents came home. Like, I don't understand why that's not
Yeah,
a thing.
and it was different.
Well,
for
I
me
can
too,
understand maybe
'cause-
like I'd say 10. Once you're 10, I feel like then I would be more comfortable in today's day and age, depending on where I lived.
and things were kind of different for me growing up too, because most of my life my mom was always home until like I got into like junior high, and then by that point my grandma was living with us. So there's always someone at the house. You know what I mean? Or there's always someone to come pick me up from school or whatever. So like I always had some sort of supervision when it came to like being at home. But as soon as I got home and I did whatever I needed to do, I was out the fucking door until, whatever time I was supposed to be back doing who knows what. What else we got, Sean? We got any other ones?
Oh, I'm looking for some more good ones because some of
Well,
these
while
you're
you're
like,
looking for
yeah.
those, I'm gonna take another dab, dude. I'm already too deep. Chris said he's gonna get
Dude.
fucked up tonight. Or
Honestly, dude, that's crazy.
I'm gonna
Just
do.
taking like a quick triple hit as the first hit of the day, and then just jumping into the podcast after just like hustling all morning.
Getting a little
fucking-
roasted, huh?
I'm definitely feeling it.
I before the
Am I-
show, I cleaned my Dynavap like extra clean. So like,
Oh yeah, I went and got a nice
uh,
cleaning on the rig here too. So I had fresh water, fresh rig, you know.
all right. So I got our next one. Am I the asshole for getting mad at my friend for setting me up on a date? So I have a friend who constantly talks about how I'm not going on dates and always pressures me to download dating apps. I'm not opposed to the idea, but I want to do so when I'm ready. Cut to the present, he recently tried to set me up with one of his friends. I told him I'd be open, but wasn't super interested, to which he'd reply, "Oh, you're just making excuses." And so what, you just want to be alone for the rest of your life? I finally said yes because the girl was cute and thought, why not? Leading up towards the date, he constantly messages me if I messaged her yet, asking what we were doing for the date, then criticizing my choices. On the day of the date, he kept being like, what if I just showed up to the coffee place? And then he ended up showing up. It was super weird and I felt pretty pressured. After the date, we said goodbye. She messaged, "Hey, I had a good time." And I messaged back that I had a good time too. She was nice, but I wasn't looking to pursue further. Neither of us messaged each other anything after that. My friend pushed me to go on a second date, to which I said I wasn't interested in. He kept saying, "You need to go out of your comfort zone just to go on a second date for the heck of it." Then he finally said, "Okay, message her that you don't want to see her again." I said that this was kind of presumptuous since she hadn't asked for a second date and may not even want another. So we get into this argument where he gets upset that I don't send a rejection message and kept being like, "Wow, man, so you're just going to ghost her? Wow, dude, she's my friend. You started this, now finish it." I was just upset about how involved he was, not just through this whole process. He acted like I was getting mad at him for just trying to push someone out of their comfort zone, but it wasn't that at all. Anyway, I felt bad for overreacting and maybe not being clear with that girl, but the whole thing felt like it had too many cooks involved and that my friend wasn't advocating in my interests.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say this. Like, I would the friend, like I would never be that friend, first and foremost. Like that would never be me. And I would just be like, yo, like, dude, come on now. Like I feel like you can talk that out beforehand before it comes to that.
I mean,
Yeah,
it feels
that's that's too much pressure on the dude, bro. Like if he's not feeling it and she doesn't obviously sound like she's like messaged him with interest to go out again, then what's the fucking point? You know what I mean? Obviously, they neither one of them felt chemistry or caught a vibe. So I feel like the dude's just putting way too much pressure on the situation.
and I mean, you probably killed the vibe in the fucking first place by being
Yeah,
all up in the business. Like,
you
honestly,
can't force chemistry or a connection between people. You know what I mean?
Well, not even that, but like, dude, like you don't have to. The guy makes it seem like he just like owes this like woman so much just because she's his friend, and like it was. If it's what, that's crazy.
it almost feels like this dude wants to be able to be like, yeah, man, like you remember I got you and Kelly together, bro. Like it sounds like he wants to have the power to do that. You know what I mean? Like you guys wouldn't even be together if it wasn't for me, bro. I hooked you guys up.
Yeah, he's trying to be Cupid.
He's like doing the best man speech before they even like do anything. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm gonna find my friend, his wife.
and let's flip this for a second.
How weird does that sound?
What if all right, you homegirl's your friend, okay? So what if she's saying to you that, well, man, like I'm kind of bummed because I kind of was digging him, but I haven't heard from him. Just say it, you fuck.
Yeah.
Be like, yo, she was feeling you and she's just kind of bummed you haven't hit her up. So maybe you should hit her up. Don't do this fucking beating around the bullshit bush like this. Like, I don't know.
I'm with you on that. If she's not being like upfront and telling dude that she's feeling him, and she's just telling his friend, "Oh well," then she's just playing fucking games, and it ain't worth it at the end of the day anyway.
Yeah, like relationships are a two-way street. They each have each other's numbers. So it's not just him hitting her up. She can hit him up and be like, "Hey, so I'm in town, I'm gonna be around your way and I'm gonna be free. You wanna like hang out for a bit?" Like it can work both ways. What really freaks me out is still like, why is his boy so like heavily invested in this dude's life?
Yeah, like that's the way that it reads, right? Like it
Yeah.
reads that way. Because he doesn't like give his like friend any ammunition. That this doesn't seem weird.
Like, it just seems
But
so
like if I was
awkward.
that dude and like my friend was doing that to me, I would be like, dude, I don't know what the hell you want from me. Like that's ridiculous. If you think I'm gonna do that, that's wild. And then I'd probably be like, did she say something about me? And then if he said no, then I'd definitely be like, yo, you need to chill. Like just you definitely need to chill.
Unless she's asked you to say something about it, dude, then what the fuck? Leave it alone.
Ooh, okay. This one sounds sticky. So, am I the asshole for getting my siblings gifts, but not my step siblings? So I, a 26 male, have 3 siblings, 22 male, 20 male, 18 male. I love these guys more than anything. After all, they're my brothers. Anyway, our parents separated after our father had multiple affairs. He's cheated for over 3 years, but we still regularly visit him. Anyway, I've been working 14-hour shifts and doing side hustles. I'm a robotic engineer, so good pay. So I could help pay for my siblings' university fees, and then we all pile our money after we pay off each other's debts, and we all share the money. That's just what brothers do where I am from, Poland. This happened yesterday. I wanted to get my siblings something nice. I have to live separately in a small apartment, not enough space in the house. So I got all of them brand new MacBooks, AirPods, and $250 gift cards each to help with school and for their fun. They live with my dad and his new wife and the step siblings, 18 female, 14 female, and 10 female. The oldest hates her younger sisters, so she never gets them anything, and they all have horrible relationships. Anyways, when they saw me give my gifts to my brothers, they all confronted me. Even the 10-year-old asked why she wasn't getting anything. My brothers
Oh
cut in
no.
and told them we weren't siblings and that none of us are related. The 2 oldest step siblings and their girlfriends left angry messages, and dad's wife, not the affair woman, has said I am an ass. I don't really think I am, but many, after seeing how mad they were, should have. But I don't really think I am, but many, after seeing how mad they were, should I have gotten them something? He's Polish. He's trying to translate to
Yeah.
English. I have to cut slack there. I'm not entirely sure how he was trying to phrase that,
No, I get it though.
but yeah,
He
I,
felt like
I
you should have
think
got
it's
them at
pretty-
least something.
He's
Didn't
like,
have
I
to
don't
get them
think
the
I
same.
am. He's like, but many. I think he was trying to say, but many do. Do you think I should have got them presents? Is what
yeah,
that's
maybe
how that
I,
should
I
have
think
ended.
I think that's what it's trying to say.
I think that's what the
Okay,
gist
yep,
of it was.
I think you're right. And
Dude, I like straight up, I'm gonna say it. Yeah, he is a bit of an asshole. Depending on how involved I've ever been in their lives or theirs and mine. Um, like, dude, I could just chill and get, $150 gift card for my blood brothers and then get them $100 gift card to somewhere else in a fucking cart or a box of chocolates. Like, you don't have to like go so heavy on one and none on the other. But it all depends.
yeah,
I
like
know people that had like those kind of siblings for like from the time they were like 8 or 9 years old. So now, like, dude, they've just been brothers forever. You know what I mean?
From what it sounds like, though, it sounds like he doesn't really even know these kids, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I guess it's if it's that, then that's crazy that they even ran up to him. It was like, yo, where's our shit?
Well, like he may know them, but like he may like it may be from what it sounds like. It may I don't know. I can't say for sure. This is all speculation. But from what it sounds like, his dad is kind of a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And who knows what wife this is, you know what I mean, out of all of those affairs that he had talked about, you know what I mean, or what one he ended up being with. So like I could kind of see this guy being like, who cares about these fucking kids and this fucking woman, after what I still love my dad, but like I don't love what he did to my mom. So fuck these kids. Like I could see maybe a little bit of that there.
Yeah, but then like
Possibly.
you're sort of the
But-
asshole there.
No,
So,
I
in
know.
that scenario.
I'm just giving a couple scenarios. So that
Yeah.
there's one, right?
Mhm.
But then there's also, like maybe like he just doesn't really know these kids that well. Like this could be like a thing that, they got married and he doesn't fucking really get, because like you said, he has his own apartment. So like he's out doing his own thing, working 14 hours a day, doing whatever he's doing. So obviously he may not be spending a lot of time at home. So he may not have any connection with these kids, but obviously he does with his siblings. So maybe there's that. I don't
Yeah,
know,
but-
dude. Like, dude, there's
I don't know.
times I only buy things for like my mom, my dad, and then my brother and my sisters. My brothers and my sister. That's it. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
that's all right.
Yeah, I have step siblings. I don't buy
Well,
them
I do
shit.
too, but he's been there my entire. He was there before I was even born. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay, so
That's different. You know what I mean?
You
Like
know-
I was raised with him, and he'd been in our lives, our entire lives, and you know what I mean.
and I
It is
can
what it is.
respect that. You know what I mean? Like
I don't know.
I literally feel exactly like this dude does because like I share no blood with those step siblings, and like when holidays came around, I never got them anything. They never got me anything. It
Yeah,
was
that's
just
the
kind of
thing, too.
like,
Did they get him anything?
you know, like
Does he
it-
get shit from them? I guarantee
what it
probably not.
is.
They were probably just pissed because they saw all the dope shit that he got his.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. Like,
you
you
know
know,
what I mean?
I do think he's the asshole because I think that
I
it would
don't.
not be hard to take the littlest bit away from massive gifts for his three brothers, and instead of giving them $250 gift cards, giving them even $100 fucking gift cards, and buying something for like his sisters that are his whatever, not even step, or is it step?
they're just step kids.
Yeah, stepsisters. Yeah, I think that that's like the better play, man. It's fucking Christmas. Like, just like, come on. Unless like they,
I mean, I don't
vile and,
hold
like,
on. I
they
don't
fucking
even
hate
think it was
you.
Christmas, Chris. I think it was literally just he wanted to buy gifts. Because he says
Yeah, dude. I mean,
Oh,
it
but
is not
well,
the-
I wanted to get my siblings something nice. I have to live separately in a small apartment, not in a
Oh,
spacious
so
house.
that's it. He just wanted to get his.
So I
fucking
got them all
siblings
brand new MacBooks, AirPods.
That
and
had
gift
nothing to
cards.
do with the holiday. So at that point, fuck these kids. It
I
wasn't.
mean,
for
that's
anything special.
presumptuous, but like, it would have been nice for him to do it. It's the part that makes him like kind of not the asshole is their reaction.
I'm just. I don't mean fuck these kids. I just said that to be funny and didn't get a laugh, so I'm taking it back.
You got an after laugh.
Yeah, yeah. For the
Fuck these
rebuttal.
kids.
I
Fuck
mean,
these kids.
I mean, realistically,
Flip it.
No, like
the asshole thing. I think was that
is doing it in front of them.
yes, he could have taken his brothers out and then given the gifts and
Yeah.
been like, you know your sisters are going to be jealous, so just keep it on the DL. Like, but I love you. So blah,
But
blah,
then
blah, blah.
again, who knows? Maybe he did do that, and then they found out, and then they came and confronted him, like, "Hey,"
And
what
that's
the hell?
possible too.
Dude, yeah, if he actually got them something and then they found out even, you know what I mean? Like even if he got them something and they like reacted that way because like their present was shit compared to the MacBook Pro. Like if he had wrote that in there, I'd be like, he's definitely not the asshole. I'd be like your like step siblings.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a tough dynamic because, like I said, we don't know what the relationship's like with the other set of kids. You know what I mean? Do you
But
guys
that's like a
each other?
baller gift, you know? Like that's a baller fucking gift, dude. A MacBook Pro, AirPods, and a $250 gift card.
Yeah, like that is.
Like that, like, dude, if you were those ages, like that would suck to see that happen. I would never have said shit, but that would have sucked to see happen. I'd be like, yo, I couldn't even get like a fucking baseball hat. God damn it. You know, if I was 14 that happened to me, I'd be like, God damn.
But you shouldn't really expect it, though.
I wouldn't expect it, but if I saw that happen, I might.
yeah,
be like,
I would
but
be
I wouldn't
bummed,
say
too.
anything.
Yeah, I would be exactly.
bummed,
I'd be
like,
bummed, but I'd be
as
like,
fuck.
hey, shit is what it is.
It's like he's not my real brother. Like, what do I
Yeah.
expect? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But see, like that's the part. Like that, I don't know that dynamic.
Like that's what I'm
personally,
saying.
so-
Like that's the thing. That's the caveat to this whole thing. Like because if it's a thing where like they've grown up together for a long period of time and there should be some sort of at least relationship that way, like that's kind of tough. You know what I mean? But like
no, it is a bit rough.
if this is just something that's happened within like the past few years, like as you've been moved out doing your own thing and you're just like you don't get to see your brothers as much as you used to, obviously because you're out the house and you want to hook them up and then all of a sudden the new set of kids that you don't know as well found out about it and they're pissed. That I can kind of be like, all right, dude, that's the other set of kids problem. You know what I mean? Because like you don't really know these kids.
Yeah, like it's tough that he did it, but their reaction was
Yeah,
like really the bad
the
part.
reaction's
Like
tough.
that was the bad part.
Yeah, the reaction's tough. I don't necessarily think he's an asshole for hooking up his, his brothers, but yeah, I don't know.
It's kind of
Right.
just like full assholes, like little assholes, and like
Yeah,
a bit of
there's
an
an
asshole
asshole
move
on
on his
either.
behalf.
There's an asshole on either side. I feel
Yeah.
So
a little bit. Yeah.
I got one that I think I know where we're gonna land on this one. Because anybody who knows who we are and has ever watched an episode of The Green Room,
Does
am I
this have
the
to deal with the stash?
asshole for asking my grandmother to not smoke in the house? I almost don't have to fucking.
No, I want to hear it. I want
But-
to
Is
hear
it is this cigarettes or weed?
We don't know yet.
Yeah.
Hear it.
And furthermore, we don't know whose house it is, so we have to read on.
I need to know.
So, I, 21 female, just got an apartment of my own. Last year,
Okay.
my grandmother, 81 female, and I got evicted from my father's home due to a foreclosure because of a terrible string of unfortunate circumstances. The two of them were heavy smokers and always would smoke in the home, regardless of my doctors begging them since I was a baby to quit smoking around me. Never once did they stop. Now my father's in a nursing home. My grandmother was moved out 40 minutes from me. She has lung cancer and lost part of her lung due to it, and it came back, and she's been losing a lot of weight and not being able to do things much anymore for herself. I wanted to give her a sense of independence and a cheaper living situation and spend this time with her. I got my lease for a condo in the same building we had been evicted from. Asked her if she would move in and explained that no smoking was enforced on my lease. She said she didn't care and she'll go outside and was so excited. Moving in rolls around. I ask her to please step outside to smoke less than 20 minutes into getting in here, and I get ignored. She cusses me out and goes about her evening while complaining the whole time about the apartment and things wrong with it. Fast forward to yesterday, day two of being here. I woke up to the smell of cigarettes when I opened my door. I tell her she can't keep doing this, and she yelled and screamed, stomped around, and told me I never agreed to a smoke-free home, and called me a liar, telling me she has to leave then. Uh, I said, light an incense and a candle and turn the fan on and sit by the window if it's too much for her to go outside, one flight of steps, or she just can't smoke in the house. I get cussed out for this and told that I tricked her and need to give her the rent money back and that she's taking my cats. I cried to her, telling her I can't stand to see my grandmother, who raised me, smoking herself to death in a home I want to make for us. I've been cussed out over the bath mat I bought, the shower curtain, her bed frame not being to her liking, no ice trays in the freezer yet because we just moved in, and they should come with the trays for ice. What kind of place did you find? So she told me she's leaving since she doesn't have any say and I don't care what she wants, but I wanted to be there to help her and try to get some weight back on her bones and give her a nice time. I've been called a liar since the moment she got in here, and it's only been 3 days. Wow.
Grandma's got some issues.
Woo. Grandma
Uh,
needs a fucking home.
Yeah, I don't think you're the asshole. It sounds like grandma is a little bit of an asshole.
Yeah. Grandma's mean.
Stuck in her ways and flipping the script on you. That's tough.
I'm gonna say that like you're not the asshole. Like I probably wouldn't have even let it slide for
Yeah.
like more than one time. And that'd
the-
be if I didn't smoke ever, or like if I'm an ex-smoker, it doesn't matter. Like to me, that's like I'd be like,
Yeah.
yo, this is my place, and like it's not allowed. And the last thing I want to do is find a new place to live because you're smoking in here, grandma. Like, why are you doing this to me?
Yeah. Fuck that.
That's wild to me.
I'm not
I'm not
trying
telling
to
you
get
you have to
evicted
quit
again.
smoking, but
Yeah. Sorry, grandma just is a bitch. That sucks. You try to do something nice for your family and your grandma's really mean. That sucks. All
yeah,
right.
it does suck.
That one brought me down a lot, actually. So here we go. Here's an interesting one. Am I the asshole for purposely not intervening and letting my little sister cause a minor accident with my car and making her partially cover damages to teach her a lesson about distracted driving? Kind of like where this goes already. So, my 25-year-old male little sister, a female who's 18, let's call her Christy, has recently gotten her license. She obviously thinks she's an incredible driver and can handle a car no matter what. After only 4 months of driving, she's already become one of those girls who put their phone between their thighs to be able to look at messages and access it quickly while driving. Drives us all insane, to be honest, and I and other family members have talked to her about it multiple times. It goes in one ear and out the other. Yesterday, she did it again while driving my car when we were out getting groceries. She had been distracted for almost the whole drive and even continued to look at her phone after a brief break when I told her to cut it out. When she was about to roll into a parking spot, she probably got a message and looked down at her phone. I noticed that she was about to ram into a lantern, and when I was sure she wouldn't cause damage to other vehicles, I decided to just let her run into it instead of intervening. It was a huge shock to her, and she just sat there for completely still for like 15 seconds processing what just happened. It wasn't until I said, "Will you learn to leave that fucking phone alone now?" that she spoke again. The first thing she said was, "Why didn't you tell me?" in an absolutely baffled tone, and I told her straight up that I didn't tell her so she'd learn a lesson. She was absolutely livid and tried to push all blame onto me for not intervening, but I told her it would have been the same outcome had I not been there, and that ultimately she, as a driver, is responsible for not only her, but also all passengers' safety. She was absolutely gobsmacked that she fucked around and found out, even more so when I told her she would have to account for half the damages causing the accident that the insurance wouldn't cover. In total, that was just shy of $200. Blown out light, bent bumper, and a dent in the hood, and a few scratches and the damage to the pole of the lantern. She went completely wild, but I told her that she's lucky I'm not making her pay for everything since she was driving while being on the phone. A few days after the insurance gave me the sum and I told Christy what she owes me, she paid me immediately. She told me that apparently because of this, she won't be able to go on a trip with her friends and that I'm a massive asshole. She also added she would have learned her lesson otherwise, too. I personally doubt that she would have, and honestly, distracted drivers are the worst. Am I the asshole?
No, she is. Get off your fucking phone.
Dude, for real.
You
Like-
not only do you put yourself at jeopardy, but you put others at jeopardy when you're doing that shit.
Yeah,
Honestly.
like skipping songs on your phone when you're like driving, sure.
What if
Yeah.
that wasn't a lantern and it was a person? And your brother wasn't there in the car to tell you something. You would have.
Yeah, or like you
killed
didn't learn your
somebody.
lesson in a parking lot. You learned it on a freeway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell
And
you
you're
what,
doing
I've
65 miles
learned
an
my
hour or some
lesson
shit.
multiple times in the hardest ways, and it's not fucking good. Don't drive when you're tired. Don't drive while you're fucking distracted. You really need to be focused on what you're doing when you're operating a vehicle. It is literally, it's something people take for granted because it's something we do every day after a certain age to get back and forth to wherever we go. But honestly,
You're like desensitized.
you don't realize how much you can fucking harm somebody or yourself with just the slightest miscalculation or look in the wrong direction for 2 seconds. It could literally take 2 seconds.
One of the best things I was ever told when it comes to driving safety is to always remember that you are the sole person in control of a 2,000-pound missile.
Yeah, pretty much. You're in a human death trap.
You are literally piloting a 2,000-pound missile when you're driving your vehicle. And it's up to you to operate this machine safely so that you don't kill yourself and anybody else. The girl in this says that she would have eventually learned, and like Chris said, you're lucky that it was a fucking parking lot and not a freeway.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. Like
Could have been doing
learned your
65 on a
lesson
freeway.
way
You should
harsher.
thank your brother that you learned that way and not the other way.
Dude, some people don't ever learn that lesson because the first time it happens,
it's the last time.
It's the last time. Yeah.
It's like the unfortunate way I had to learn to never to drink and drive is I got hit by a driver.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Luckily, no one, got seriously injured in my vehicle, but who knows what happened in theirs because I don't think they were wearing seatbelts. And dude, I'll tell you what, they fucked my truck up, dude. I was going this way through the intersection, and when we were done, I did a whole like 360 and a half facing the other way outside of the intersection, pointing down the fucking road the opposite way.
The worst part is honestly is that usually in those situations the drunk driver gets away with less damage to their body because when you're drunk you're all loose and so you get that whole ragdoll effect. And these motherfuckers come out with just a couple scratches. You're like, you son of a bitch. Like you killed people and look at you. You're fine.
It was all bad, dude.
Yeah, man. I actually will never forget. Like my dad's told me this story a couple times, like throughout my life, like as an adult. But he like got to like a bad accident, and it was like a couple of like middle-aged guys, and the one guy was like losing his mind, because he like killed his friend in a drunk driving accident. So this guy was like super, super drunk. He like went off the road and got into an accident, whatever. And his friend died. And this guy was like distraught and like super drunk. And he kept on like saying he killed some other person. And so the dude, he was so drunk that he thought he had somebody else in his car than who was actually in his car. That's fucking crazy, man.
It's terrible, man. Let's get off these fucking bummers, bro.
Yeah, give us something fun, Sean. Fuck, dude, you're like,
yeah, man.
Pick the
reading these
vibe up,
first,
dude. I'm
homie.
too stoned for this.
Yeah, you set the vibe with the fucking ones you share.
It's tough, man, because like that's the game with Am I the Asshole, isn't it? It's like you're like, oh, I think this will be no, that got dark fast.
Go back to something like pissing in the sink or something.
all right. Oh my god. Let's see.
Dude, this guava jelly tastes so good right now, by the way.
I got a freshie waiting.
I'm babying LCBC right now. It's
dude, pair it with that Caribbean splash from fucking the Mountain Dew, dude. Oh, it's so good.
So hopefully this one isn't such a downer. Am I the asshole for asking my husband not to nap? It's been a rainy, gloomy day today, so my husband and I decided we would stay home. We usually go out for dinner on Saturdays, but he said he wanted to make me something special. I'm not feeling so good, so I went for a nap at 5 p.m. My husband said he might join me soon, as he was also tired. At 7 p.m., I woke up from my nap to find my husband coming in the room to nap. I asked him how long he wanted to sleep for, and he said about an hour, maybe more. Whenever he says this, it's more like 2 hours, and it's very hard to wake him. I said, what about dinner? I'm hungry, and you said you were going to make something special. He said, well, I'm tired. I'll make it later. I pushed and said, I don't want to have dinner at 11 p.m. It's an elaborate meal, so either he can sleep now and we just order in, or he can cook and I'll help. He said I'm being selfish for telling him he can't nap, and I need to be more flexible and eat late. He didn't want me to order in or make my own dinner while he was asleep. All I've eaten today is a bowl of cereal at noon. It's now 8:15 p.m. I'm starving, and he's asked me to leave him to make dinner on his own, and it's clearly mad at me. So am I the asshole?
Yes, I'm gonna say yes. It's like, yo, if he's like wants to do it, and yeah, he should have went and had a nap, obviously, earlier than fucking 2 hours after she did. And he could have got the ball rolling a little bit, but like, I don't know if being a little bit short on time or planning makes you an asshole. So I think that like she could have just woke up and like if she knew that she was gonna have to wait for 2 hours, like have fucking yogurt, like have a piece of fruit.
Or fucking make it your damn self.
Well, so that's the
Sean said
issue. He doesn't want her to do that and then eat separate. And she adds for extra context, people seem to be missing the point that it's that she doesn't want to be eating dinner at 11 p.m. Usually they eat at between 6 and 8 at the latest. Yes, she could have made a snack or made herself dinner, but he was insistent on getting up at 9 p.m. to start cooking the same meal. If she let him nap, they would have been eating dinner at 11 p.m., which would have upset stomachs.
Yeah, dude, eating at 11 p.m. is tough. That's rough, dude. Especially if you normally eat like 4 or 5 hours before that. Like, that's rough, dude. especially like depending on what time you go to sleep and then have to wake up the next day. If you have to go to sleep within like the next hour of eating like a nice, a hefty meal, dude.
You know what? Honestly, like this is how I would have reacted. Like, let's just say that like I was the girlfriend, or I'm speaking to the girlfriend or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the roles reversed or whatever. I'm pretty sure that like I would just be like, "Yo, yeah, no problem," and then I would go and I would just like make a couple pieces of toast or something, whatever. And then when they wake up, I just fucking eat less food. So then I wouldn't have like to be up as late to like digest some, to feel comfortable to go to sleep. And like I'm not gonna be whatever. You know what I mean? It's no big deal.
I
We have
mean,
leftovers for the next day. Let's go. Now I got a nice little lunch.
uh, I think the issue here is that like he's fighting her about making herself food because he insists that he wants to make her this special dinner, and yet he wants to delay the special dinner to make it to a point that's really just inconveniencing her. It doesn't seem like he's making her a special dinner anymore.
Oh, I'm not saying that he's like making sound decisions, but I think that like
I feel like he's kind of
it's
being the
not
asshole in this
he's
situation.
not the
Though.
asshole.
I feel like he is right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that.
I kind of would, man. I mean,
Dude, without more context, I can't be that
Because it's sounding
hardline.
like he's saying that she can't go and like make herself a little something to snack on until they eat dinner, sort of thing. Like wants her to wait to eat anything until he takes his fucking nap.
Well, I didn't really think that it was like, yo, you better not eat, bitch. Like, I didn't think that it was like
Well,
that.
isn't that what it's kind of sounding like, Sean?
he's insisting that she doesn't make herself dinner. So, like, could she
So,
snack? Sure. But then at the end of the day, it gets to the problem that she's not trying to eat her dinner at 11 o'clock at night and then go directly to bed. And so she's
but
not
dude, if
going
you
to
like
eat
never
dinner
do
with
this
him.
though, but if like this is like out of character for you, like you said, you know, they normally eat dinner at that time. If it's just like a oncer, like I mean,
I think
really not that. I don't think that he's the asshole. Like if
I
that's like
think
a
he could just bend to like she said and go, she said, let's just order in so that way you'll get up from your nap and then we can get takeout. It'll be here in 10,
yeah,
15
maybe
minutes.
he just wanted to do it for his girl, man.
Well, then don't
Then he
take your
should get
fucking
up and
nap.
do it.
Did he? We don't know if he got up at 9 o'clock and they ate at 11. Like we don't know because they never.
We actually do.
We do.
We actually
Shades.
do. This
Please tell
one,
me that. That'll seal the deal for me.
this one, we actually do have a final resolution in it, a final update. So she wanted to add the update that he got up and cooked because he didn't want her to order in. They ate, they're fine. He understands why she was pissed and said he agrees we shouldn't be eating so late. So no harm done.
Boom, he was the asshole, bro.
He
'cause
realized
knew
that
he
he's
fucked up.
fucking wrong. This is I should have just fucking made dinner and then gone to bed early.
Dude, I don't even think that that's just like a relationship hurdle. That's all it is. It's like
No, but
nobody's an asshole.
well, and like if you had to,
He realized if you realize you made a wrong decision, doesn't mean like every
but I'm
bad
just
decision
saying,
makes
like
an
if you
asshole.
had to put it on somebody at the moment, like I feel like he would have been more of the asshole at the point because she was just like kind of saying like, hey, well, like that's kind of late. Obviously, he realized it and he redeemed himself of his assholeness, and they cooked and everything's good. But I feel like at the moment he was kind of being a dick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Like I'm definitely not trying to see you start cooking
Good for
at
him
9
though.
o'clock for a
Fucking
long fucking meal.
kudos for him though for fucking just being like, you
Yeah.
know what? You know what? You're right.
Happy wife, happy life. That's what they say. All right, I got another good one. This one should definitely not be a downer, and I already think I know where I side just from the top of this one. Am I the asshole for putting up Halloween decorations in July? So last night, along with our youngest daughter, an 8-year-old, I decided to put up some Halloween decorations. My husband was going out with our middle daughter for the night, but before he left, I asked him to bring up the box of new Halloween decorations I had purchased. He did, no problem. My daughter and I spent some 20 to 30 minutes just decorating the mantle. When he came home that night, I was in bed with our youngest. He walked in the door and yelled, "What the hell is going on here?" He was beyond upset over our decorating. He came upstairs and said I didn't ask him if I could put up the decorations and didn't include him. He also said he had no idea I was going to be doing this, even though he brought the decorations up for me. I don't understand what the big deal is. Yeah, I get it. It's July and most people don't decorate for Halloween this early, but who cares? Halloween is my favorite holiday. Seeing it up makes me happy and helps with my depression. On top of that, I'm going in for surgery in August and I won't be allowed to do much for at least 6 weeks after. So am I the asshole?
No, dude.
No.
You do whatever the fuck you want. That's just like
He
up to
should have
other
known
people to
when you
adjust.
when you asked him to bring the box up. What else are you asking him to bring it up for?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do an inventory, babe. Don't
Oh
worry
yeah,
about it.
I'm just gonna look at it and not, that's like key. You know what I mean? And you said you and your 8-year-old were. Did she say her 8?
Yeah, 8-year-old daughter.
So she's doing something with your kid. They're bonding, bro. You know what I mean? You were bonding with the other one. You went out and did something. There, she was doing something with the younger one. Hey, you know what I mean? You were both bonding with your children, doing your own things. You know what I mean? So what, dude?
So added context, because some people had asked these questions, they don't have a tradition of putting up Halloween decorations. When I was a stay-at-home mom, I would always decorate the inside alone for Halloween. The outside we always did to do together because I needed his strength to get some of the things stuck into the dirt. I would never use any type of mental health as an excuse for anything, and I honestly don't appreciate the accusations. That's frankly stating a fact. It makes me smile to sit down and see decorations like I'm in my happy place. And when the Christmas decorations are up, I'll feel the same way. Thankfully none of us here took the mental health as an excuse.
Oh no, dude, fuck. I like
but-
looking at. I have certain things up in my room that I just like looking at because they make me happy.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck that. Like, if it makes you happy, do it, man. My sister's like 100% Halloween all the time, dude. That's like
Right?
her favorite holiday. She
I
just
manage
likes
the
that
Halloween
vibe.
store. I have Halloween
cares?
decorations around my house all the time. That's my
Man,
life.
hey, that shame on the people that are fucking hating on that. Who cares, dude? If you like Christmas
Yeah.
all the time, good for you, man.
Yeah. So totally
the
not
same
the
way.
asshole. I'm actually glad that they did something that made them happy
Yeah,
with their
Do
kid.
you,
And
man?
it's a shame that your husband overreacted to it.
And like you said, you didn't even put up all the decorations. You're just doing some. You know what I mean? There's still more to do. He can help with that.
Yeah. I mean, hell, have some extra fun with it. Take
And
your
like you
fucking
said,
mantle skeletons and give
also
them flags.
The fact that you're going in for some sort of surgery and you're not going to be able to do much, like, why not do it now before the holiday even happens so that it's up and ready so you can enjoy it when that time comes. And then you don't get, the you don't get the gratification stolen from you of putting it up yourself. You know what I mean? You still get to do that and enjoy that aspect of it. I've been through those sorts of situations when there's times where it's like, I know I'm not going to be able to do certain things for a little while. So I try to knock them out a little bit beforehand. You know what I mean? I've had to go through long recovery periods, not being able to do much. You know what I mean? So I know what that's like. It's rough.
All right, this ought to be interesting because I can't fully gauge the context here. Will I be a snitch? Or will I be the asshole if I snitch on my brother?
Oh,
My brother, 17, is working on a sailboat for the next 2 weeks. I work at a donut shop, and my shift was from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. My brother wasn't awake when I left, and he went to the airport at 11, so I didn't see him at all. We rent a house by the beach every summer, but we switch houses halfway through the summer. When I checked my phone after work, my brother had texted me. He said that he had left some things in my closet that he wanted me to bring to the other house. When I looked in my closet, I found 15 weed pens. I looked it up and they're $40 each. My parents would know that they are my brothers, but would still be in trouble if they were found. I don't want to waste $600 of my brother's money, but I don't know how I could move them between houses. Yeah, bro, you'll be the asshole if you snitch on him for this.
yeah, that's brutal, dude.
That's
Dude,
rough.
I would like try to help them
Hey,
come up with
honestly,
an idea.
Honestly, that's kind of an asshole move on your brother for not giving you the heads up beforehand. Like, yo, before he put him in your room. You know what I mean? Like
That too.
That's kind of rough. You know what I mean? That he didn't give you the heads up. Like, hey, I'm gonna leave these. The fact that you guys didn't have a plan beforehand, That's
like
kind
there
of
was no
rough.
discussion.
Yeah, that's rough. And he just kind of dropped it on you. That's kind of an asshole move on your brother's part. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But also, if you do snitch,
the solution is not snitching.
yeah, if you do snitch, you are definitely still kind of an asshole. But at the end of the day, your brother fucked you, bro.
Listen, he said they're weed pens, so at the end of the day, they don't smell. All you got to do is wrap them up in your
Yeah,
fucking
dude,
sock,
just-
stick them in your sock drawer, and then move to the new house. You're fine.
Yeah, dude, just pack them up. Like, then you don't
And-
have to like. Don't
And
be.
then
And
you've got a favor from your brother.
That's true, bro. Then you've got something you can hold over and be like, "Hey, bro, remember that one time?
Like, you owe me, homie.
You owe me, dog. About $600 worth." You know what I mean?
Yo, that could be
Or you can double it up, be like, "Hey, bro, those things are worth 600. Now you owe me $1,200 worth of some shit at some
like,
point,
yeah,
bro."
I put my ass on the line for you, bro.
Hey, dog.
You don't want mom to know you had all that weed on you, do you? Yo,
That is rough, though, dude.
that's a dick move for sure on his brother's part.
Yeah.
But yeah, snitches get stitches. Don't be doing
Yeah,
that.
don't do that, bro.
Don't
Like,
do
that's
that, man.
as much as I would say, like, yeah, fucking do it. But hey, at the end of the day, then you both get in trouble because then they're like, oh, well, you knew they were in there. You're gonna end up fucking yourself and your brother, and then you're gonna burn that bridge. It's not good. Not good.
Ooh, okay. This ought to be an interesting one. I think this will be a good one to close it out on
Ooh.
because we're coming to the end of the show now. So, am I the asshole to bring my boyfriend to my home country? So, obviously, English is not going to be their first language, so this is going to be a little bit difficult. We'll get through this. For better context, I, a 30-year-old female, have ADHD, and my boyfriend, 35 male of almost 2 years, is autistic. We both live in Europe, but only I moved there 15 years ago. He is native. To the story of what went down. It's summertime, and as I usually do, I booked 3 weeks to my home country where I meet and spend some time with my parents, and I consider it also a vacation as we go to the beach often. Again, for context, it's a poor country and known to be generally loud. For example, each store and cafe, etc., play loud music, and kids can be chaotic and are running around. Cars are always honking. So I booked my flight for 3 weeks and my boyfriend for first 2 weeks only. It's his first time coming over, but he did meet my parents before when they visited me. After 10 days in our vacation, he locked himself in his room and he complained that I shouldn't have brought him to my home country and implied that I kind of forced him to visit places and interact with people. I heard him out and kept quiet, but I couldn't help feel attacked as he blamed me that I should have known he won't handle it and shouldn't have brought him there. I understand that he is autistic and can be overwhelming. But he also knew these stereotypes. YouTube and Google don't hide the ugly side. And I really only wanted to share with him and show him where I grew up and the places where I spent my teenage years and simply share this side with him. At this point, I offered him to book an earlier flight and go back home to decompress or rest. He didn't want to and said I am an asshole to even suggest that. So Reddit, was I wrong to do this? And shouldn't I have shared this side with him? I honestly also don't know how to move on from here. It's where my parents still live, and it's a part of who I am. This country is also what I initially shaped me into the person he says he loves, and I love him very much. And he hopes he knows my intention was never to get him to that state. So, yeah. Is she
No,
the asshole?
I don't think she's an asshole. I just think she didn't. I don't think she knew what extent to, you know, what. I don't think she fully knew like what it was going to be like for him. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, like she said, she did just want to, show him where she came from and that sort of thing. And I don't blame her for that because I would want to do that for someone that she says she loves him or whatever, cares for him. I would want someone to know where I came from and that sort of thing. And I feel like she did also do the right thing by suggesting, well, if you're not feeling it and you're not enjoying yourself, we can book you an earlier flight home. And the fact that he insinuated that she's an asshole for asking that is kind of a dick move because she was looking out for his best interest and saying like, hey, well, if you're not feeling it, I still want to spend time here because this is, I do this all the time. I want to spend time with my family, but we can, get you home so you can decompress and that sort of thing. That's, she did the right thing, bro. At the end of the day, I don't feel like she fully expected, things to go the way it did. And she, at the end of the day, did try to make the right compromise with what, was at her hands. And he just, I don't know. But at the end of the day, I don't know how the whole uh situation maybe with like, where he's at on the spectrum and, that sort of situation. So that could be also a difficult part.
From what
I don't know.
From what I'm hearing, it sounds to me like he's overreacting because of his autism disorder that he experiences. And I think he's just saying things that he doesn't necessarily understand how mean they actually sound. And I think,
Okay, just before we go further, can you give me like the brief synopsis? Like honestly, like it's like not fully in my brain.
so this woman took her husband, who is somewhere on the autism spectrum, with her on a vacation to her home country. Her home country is very chaotic, lots of noise and everything, and so she knew that it might be a little bit uncomfortable for her husband, but he did go with her. The plan was for him to stay for 2 weeks, and she was going to stay for 3. However, after about 10 days, he became so overwhelmed that he just locked himself in his room and became a bit combative and, was very overwhelmed and upset and wanted to go home. However, he was very upset that his wife had offered to get him an earlier flight home, saying that she's an asshole for making such an insinuation.
So he's kind of calling her an asshole for bringing him in there in the first place, and also again for trying to send him home early.
Well, no, it sounds like he only called her an asshole when she tried to send him home early.
Well, no, in some of the nasty things he's saying, he's like, you should have known better.
Yeah, you should. Well, you should like that. That was part of it too. Like he was saying even before.
You probably should have done a week.
I agree.
Well, yeah, that's what I feel like. That's what she realized halfway through, and that's why she insinuated, "Well, we can fly you home sooner," sort of thing. Like, hey, maybe this is too much. I don't feel like it was right for him to call her out at that point because she was looking out for him, and
Yeah, I think he's just he's hurt, and I mean, having dealt with some people who are on the spectrum, I understand that sometimes you don't regulate emotions the same. And so his little bit of over stimulation and everything is causing him to react in such a manner where he seems a little more aggressive than maybe he would like to, and, in the sense of like, you should have known better kind of posturing. But I think at the end, when it all comes out in the wash, I think, like Chris said, maybe it should be a week. Like, if you want to try this again, buddy, maybe we just do a week.
Yeah, and it all depends. If she was like forcing him to go, being like, "Come on, please, come on, I want you to come see it." Blah 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 blah. Come for 2 weeks. Come for 2 weeks. Then then a little bit more could fall on her. But if he was like, "Yeah, I'll come. Like, I want to come. I'll come for 2 weeks," and then that happened, like, he is a bit of an asshole for sure.
Yeah,
like he could have just been like, "Yo, today I
definitely,
can't go out.
yeah, definitely depending on that context for sure.
The
picks, yeah,
and I mean that's the thing. Like, I get like you want to be there and be a part of everything with your loved one and her family. But when it is overwhelming and it has reached that point that it's drained you completely, you do need to decompress and unplug. And I get that maybe that's not ideally what some people might want in that situation, and that might make them feel uncomfortable that that's how it's playing out. But yeah, it's such a tough one. But yeah, I don't think she's necessarily the asshole. I think she's trying to do everything she can to show her husband that she just wants what's best for him, to make him comfortable. So yeah, I don't think she's the asshole.
That's like a really tough spot. Like, you know what I mean? I wouldn't say that she's like an asshole, but like, I mean, I don't know. It's like it's on both of them. That's why like some of these are really like very easy for me. When other ones it's not so much. You know, like pissing in the sink. Are you the asshole? You're the asshole. You're pissing in the sink. This scenario, like we really don't know all the context, right? Like I said, if he was like willing to go and he was like, I would like to go, I'm going to try this. It's I can't really say anybody's an asshole even. It's just
Well,
that's how things are gonna be.
and that's the thing too,
learn
right?
lessons, bro.
Like if we get super meta about this for a second, then I agree that yeah, I don't think anybody's an asshole in the situation. I think that's too harsh. I think
Yeah.
some people are just this is a minor conflict that would happen. Like I can see this happening between me and my wife because I'm a more introverted person and she's more extroverted. And if we went on a 3-week trip, I could see me hitting a wall at about 10 days and being like, I'm burnt out. I just want to chill here at the hotel room for a day. You can have fun, do your thing.
Yeah, he
But-
could
Yeah.
have done that, but the fact that he blew up is like,
But that's the thing. I am not on the autism spectrum.
yeah.
Her
Yeah, but
husband
I wouldn't
is.
call him an asshole.
So that's
I'd be
it.
like,
I wouldn't
man,
say
we
it's an
need to
asshole.
know this, right? Like but sometimes you have to learn those fucking shitty lessons, bro.
Yep. Well,
Like even as like a couple, right? Like just within a relationship, sometimes you together have to learn this lesson that this will not work. Can you work around this? I think that you probably could. So
yeah.
I
I think
you needed that lesson to be learned.
I think that situation resolved itself pretty easily after a day, and everything was fine. But yeah, man, thank you to the people of Reddit for giving us so many weird and interesting circumstances that we could be judges of. Because, dude, there were some good ones. And shout out to the girl who has a brother who pisses in her sink. You poor thing.
That dude's an asshole, bro.
Oh man. And that's about our time for this week. So thank you everybody for tuning in. And I'm gonna go ahead and do what we always do and start it off with Uncle Chris on the sign outs.
Yo, thanks everybody. Appreciate everybody for listening. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thanks to the Redditors out there for helping us out with this one. I'm really glad that Sean didn't like get really a bunch of crazy ones. Although like maybe a future episode we might come back to this and we'll do some real crazy ones. Mind you, please don't piss in the sinks, everybody. Unless like you're not in a spot where the toilet does not work and like the only way you can do it is like pee in the sink or pee in a bottle. I'm gonna let it slide then. But any other time,
Yeah,
come
just
on
go
now.
outside, man.
Well, it depends, dude. What if you're on like a 30th floor of a building? You're gonna like go downstairs to go pee outside?
I'm just gonna go pee off the fucking roof.
Yeah, exactly.
If there's
Right.
a balcony, would I pee in a bucket in a balcony? For sure, dude.
Yeah,
You
just
pee out the window.
water whatever potted plant is nearby. Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like at that point you're gonna be okay with it. But anyways, yeah, so thanks everybody, appreciate it. Check out shedtimepodcast.com. Go over there, give it a gander, if you will. You can stream the show there even. You can check out our Patreon, all sorts of cool shit. So, check that out. And Friday nights on Frames Janklin Vapors YouTube channel, you can catch the three of us on the green room. And actually there's some cool episodes coming up, so hopefully you guys check those out. And that is it for me. Everybody be safe, have a good week, and live your best life. Frames.
As always, shout outs to all the Shedheads for you guys' continuous support. Make sure you guys are giving us 5-star reviews on all those podcasting platforms, because that helps us pop up in the algorithm, helps us pop up in the suggested podcast for people out there. And if you guys didn't know, there is some new videos available over on the Shedtime podcast YouTube of episodes from the past. If you guys want to go see those, as well as maybe future ones coming up. But of course, the patrons, go check it out, because over there on Patreon you do get the early access to every podcast episode, as well as some other cool things like a Discord and other shit like that. And of course, like Chris said, you can check us out on Fridays on my YouTube channel for the Green Room. We do build off Shedhead sessions, all kinds of cool stuff like that. And other than that, we'll be here in the shed doing the damn thing as always. So I'm gonna end it as I always do, sending out positive vibes, crisp high fives. As always, don't forget to tell someone you love him, and a little dab or bag will do you. Sean.
Fuck yeah, man. I agree. So with all of that, everybody, big shout out to you guys, the listeners. We thank you all so much. The Shedhead community means the world to us. You guys are true MVPs. Shout out to the patrons. You guys kicking ass out there. We couldn't do it without you. You guys, number one. And you know what I'm gonna tell you. Don't let the bastards get you down. Be cool, don't be a dick. And whatever it is that you do, be sure to have some fun. This is the Shed Time Podcast, and we're about to roll on up and roll on out.
Dynavap. Looking to cut the cord on your dry herb vape? Dynavap. Trying to get the best taste from your herb? Dynavap. Ready to take your sesh to the next level? Then meet Dynavap, the best way to vape your flower or concentrate. Concentrates? That's right, your flower or hash can be vaped using Dynavap. Check out Dynavap.com to learn more. That's Dynavap.com. Lose the ash? Dynavap.
What's going on, Shedheads? It's your boy, Frames Janklin. Are you looking to step up your match game or have a raw copper, brass, or stainless mod or RDA that you're absolutely tired of polishing? Then you need to go and hit up my man Ashton of Palmer's Powders. He does some absolutely amazing powder coating work. He offers many different colors and finishes at an absolutely killer price. This man is taking powder coating to a whole new level, and he can make your setup an absolute masterpiece. You can go follow him over on Instagram at Palmer's Powders, and you can go check out pricing on his website, palmerspowders.com. That's palmerspowders.com. And as always, let's just vape on, Shedheads.
I want you to think of your favorite rebuildable right now. Yeah, okay, so you have a layer cake in your hand, and now you're about... Oh, sorry, yeah, that's not everyone's favorite. That's just mine. So think of your favorite rebuildable atomizer. Think about how good of a vape it produces for you. Now, take that and amplify it. And the way that you amplify that is you put in some Breezestone coils. Breezestone coils are handcrafted in Adelaide, Australia. They're made from some of the finest quality wire that you can get. I believe it's wire Buddha. You take those coils, you take them out of that phenomenal packaging that clearly shows how much care that Adam puts on the quality of his coils and the insurance that you get them in good shape. You put them in that favorite RDA, and guess what? You have coils that now sing better than Celine Dion. Go check out Breezestone coils. You can find them on localvape.com and also steelvalleyvapors.com. Solid.
Peace. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you.